Socially, not politically necessarily, but because every time Trump does anything, it's the best and tremendous. That's how Donald Trump proved the power of self-belief and confident is the secret to success, not genetic. Trump knows what most other people don't. It's that Trump has believed and talked his way into the presidency twice. Trump is president because everything Trump does is tremendous. It's amazing. It's the best. Donald Trump literally said it every time they ask him, "What would happen if you ran for president?" "If I ran for president, it would be the best campaign ever. It would be tremendous. I would make so many great changes in this country. He would bring America back to greatness." Like even the slogan, "Make America Great Again." Make a lot of people, they disagreed and they try to be all slick with when was America ever great, but what they don't understand is their language exposes them. Trump is using the power of self-belief and confidence to win. Donald Trump was purposeful language that he chose to make America great again. Like, because America's not great now because I'm not president. Once I become president, America will be great. See, because this is what you guys got to understand. The universe, right, doesn't care about what's bad or good. Those are just concepts based on what we do as far as like, looking at duality in the material world. What the universe does is that it says if you put in this work, you will get this outcome. Period. That's it. If you believe this, then this will happen. When a person has that much belief in themselves, universe has to make it happen. That's how it works. That is the secret to success, not genetic.
See, in life, you can go through life, you can come up with reasons or you can come up with results. You can come up with excuses or you can come up with achievements. You can go through life blaming or you can come up with solutions. The choice is in your hands, satisfaction or despair.
Like,
we can
comment,
choose that.
And subscribe.
You don't get better on the daggone couch. You get better by coming out here and getting the f after it every daggone day.
It's very, very simple to get what you want, but it's not easy. It's your job to make yourself do the crap you don't want to do so you can be everything that you're supposed to be.
Welcome to Steps.
And you're so damn busy waiting to feel like it.
Please.
And you're never going
like,
to.
Comment,
ever.
And subscribe.
No one's coming. No one. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to tell you to turn the TV off.
Welcome to
Everybody
Steps
wants to prize,
to
but
be
nobody loves the
successful
process.
video.
Everybody wants to be a
Please
champion, but nobody's
like,
willing to put in the
comment,
work that it
and
takes to be a
subscribe.
champion. Everybody wants to hold up the trophy and say, "Man, I did it," but nobody's willing to put in the work that it takes to do it. I love the process.
What separates the good from the truly great? What invisible force propels some to achieve what others only dream of? For decades, we've been told stories about talent, about being born with a certain gift. But the real secret isn't in your DNA, it's in your mind, the unwavering power of self-belief. Think about the greatest achievers in history. Many faced incredible hardship. What they shared was a belief system stronger than their challenges. We're going to look at the journey of Donald Trump, not politically, but as a case study in human potential. We will dissect how this internal fire fueled his success. Today, we're pulling back the curtain and looking at the psychological architecture of massive success. Your mindset is your greatest asset. One man's self-belief allowed him to build an empire, become a global brand, and achieve the highest office in the land. It's designed to awaken the giant within you. For too long, we have given our power away to the idea of genetics, saying things like, "He's just a natural leader," or "She was born with that talent." It's an oversimplification that lets us off the hook, an excuse not to try. Genetics and environment play a role, giving you a head start or presenting challenges, but they are not the final verdict. The real inheritance that matters is not the money or the name, it's the mindset. It's the beliefs you choose to cultivate. The myth of genetics creates a fixed mindset. The power of self-belief creates a growth mindset. Embrace the truth that you are the architect of your own destiny. Your psychology is more powerful than your biology. In this video, we journey into the mind of a modern-day titan to understand the source of his power. We'll begin by looking at his early years and the moments that forged his unshakable confidence. We will see how a young man from Queens developed a mindset that would one day allow him to place his own name in glittering gold letters on the skyline of Manhattan. We will analyze the bold business moves he made. We will look at iconic projects like the Grand Hyatt Hotel and Trump Tower. We will also confront the moments of profound challenge and near catastrophic failure. He used them as fuel for one of the greatest financial comebacks in modern history. Finally, we will follow his path as he transitioned from the boardroom to the world of politics, culminating in his run for the presidency. This entire journey serves as our roadmap. It's a preview of how we will prove that the secret to extraordinary success lies in the limitless power of what you believe about yourself. To understand the source of Donald Trump's incredible self-belief, we must first go back to the beginning. We must look at the environment that shaped him. He grew up in Queens, New York, outside Manhattan's elite. His father, Fred Trump, was a successful real estate developer. Tough, demanding, relentless. Fred built solid apartment buildings for middle-class families in Brooklyn and Queens. Master of his craft work ethic and focus on results. This was the world Donald was born into. Construction, deals, high expectations. It was a world that taught him his first and most powerful lessons about success. Fred didn't just pass down business acumen. He passed down a mindset. He instilled a specific way of seeing the world in Donald. He taught them to be killers. He taught them to be kings, not cruelty for its own sake, survival and dominance. He took his young son to construction sites, showing the nuts and bolts. More than mechanics, teaching a philosophy. You had to be tough. You had to be strong. You had to believe you were the best. One key lesson: the power of positive thinking taken to an extreme. Fred was a devotee of Norman Vincent Peale. The power of positive thinking was a household principle. If you think positively, you will get positive results. If you believe you can achieve something, you are already halfway there. Donald absorbed it. It became the bedrock of his psychology. He learned early on that your thoughts create your reality, and he decided to think bigger and bolder than anyone around him. A feedback loop formed. Fred pushed, Donald won, Donald was praised. That reinforcement built rock-solid confidence like his father's buildings. Not just told, special, conditioned to believe it absolutely. Fred gave a financial head start. He gave a mental inheritance, an unshakable belief in destiny and winning. This was the launchpad for the man the world would come to know. As Donald entered his teenage years, his energy and ambition were becoming just too much for his regular school to handle. He was assertive, sometimes rebellious, and always looking to push boundaries. His father, Fred, saw this raw energy. He knew it needed to be disciplined and channeled. If left unchecked, it could lead to trouble. But if molded correctly, it could become a powerful force for success. So, at the age of 13, he made a pivotal decision. He enrolled his son in the New York Military Academy. This experience would be one of the most formative of Donald Trump's young life, hardening his confidence into a suit of armor. The military academy was a stark change of environment. Rigid structure, strict discipline, and intense competition. Cadets were expected to follow orders, maintain perfect uniforms, and push themselves physically and mentally. For many, this would be a breaking point. But for Donald, it was a crucible that forged his character. He learned to thrive in this competitive atmosphere. He discovered that he could not only handle the pressure, but excel under it. He channeled his natural assertiveness into leadership, rising through the ranks of the student body. He learned to command respect and to project an image of strength and control at all times. This was where he learned the importance of presentation, sharp uniform, a confident posture, and a commanding voice. It wasn't just about being strong. It was about looking strong. It was about creating an aura of success that people would be drawn to. He became a star athlete, the captain of the baseball team. He became a leader in the Corps of Cadets. Each achievement, each promotion, was another layer of proof. It was more evidence for the story he was telling himself, that he was a natural winner, a leader of men, someone who was born to be in charge. The military academy took the killer instinct his father had taught him and gave it structure, a uniform, and a code of conduct. It taught him how to channel his aggression into ambition. It taught him that life is a series of contests and that the goal is always to win. When he graduated from the academy in 1964, he was not the same boy who had entered 5 years earlier. He walked out with a profound sense of self-assurance. He had survived a tough system and had come out on top. This experience solidified his belief that he could handle any challenge and succeed in any environment. The foundation was set. After military school and graduating from Wharton, Donald Trump went straight into the family business. But he had no intention of staying in his father's shadow. He saw a much bigger prize: Manhattan. This was the ultimate stage where fortunes were made. He entered a world he saw in very clear, simple terms: winners and losers. This binary worldview became his operating system. Every deal was a competition. He was determined to always be on the winning side. This was the code that would guide his entire career. He went after huge, high-profile, incredibly risky projects. He wanted to build the biggest, the best, the most luxurious buildings. He wanted his name on them. He was building a brand, an empire that would scream success to the entire world. He was becoming Donald Trump, a name that would soon become synonymous with ambition and wealth. When Donald Trump set his sights on Manhattan, the city was in a dark place. In the mid-1970s, New York City was on the verge of bankruptcy. It was seen as a city in decay, a place people were fleeing from. But Donald Trump saw something different, a massive opportunity. He believed in the city's comeback. His first major target was the Commodore Hotel, a grand old building next to Grand Central Terminal that had fallen into disrepair. No one wanted it. Banks wouldn't touch it. But Donald looked at that decaying building and envisioned a gleaming modern hotel. He wanted to transform it completely, wrapping it in a new glass skin and renaming it the Grand Hyatt. This was a huge gamble. Most importantly, he needed a massive 40-year tax abatement from the city. He had to convince a nearly bankrupt city government that giving him a huge tax cut was in their best interest. He made them believe in his vision. The Grand Hyatt opened and was an instant success. It was a symbol of the city's rebirth and a massive financial victory for Trump. It proved that his bold self-belief could turn a decaying relic into a glittering icon. Some of the most powerful moves are about making a statement. Back in the 1980s, New York City faced a very public, very embarrassing problem. The Woolman Rink in Central Park was closed for renovations. After 6 years and nearly $13 million, the project was a disaster, a symbol of government ineptitude. Donald Trump saw an opportunity to demonstrate he was a winner who could get things done. He made a public offer to take over the project, rebuild the rink, and do it for less, promising to have it open in under 6 months. Trump was relentless, taking his case to the media. The rink was completely rebuilt in just 3.5 months, under budget. It was a real-world demonstration of competence. This single act did more to build his brand than a dozen skyscrapers, cementing his image as a leader who could succeed where governments failed. If the Grand Hyatt was his arrival, the Woolman Rink was his public proof, then Trump Tower was his coronation. This was his masterpiece, the ultimate statement of his brand. He secured the most prestigious location in New York City, 5th Avenue and 56th Street, next to Tiffany, Co. This was the center of the universe for luxury and commerce. He wanted to build a legend with a mixed-use skyscraper that would redefine luxury living. He made a crucial decision to name it Trump Tower. By putting his own name on it in giant, gold letters, he was making a definitive statement: I am the brand. He was literally building a monument to his own self-belief. The building itself, with its striking black glass facade and bronze trim, became an icon of 1980s opulence and ambition. When Trump Tower opened in 1983, it was a global sensation. More than just a successful real estate deal, it was the physical embodiment of his entire philosophy. It proved that you could build your dreams and reshape a city's skyline. By the late 1980s, Donald Trump was more than just a successful developer. He had become a celebrity, a household name synonymous with wealth and success. He had built the buildings. He had won the public's admiration. He had created an iconic brand. But his next move was perhaps his most brilliant. He decided to codify his philosophy. He decided to sell not just apartments, hotel rooms, the secret to his success itself. In 1987, he released his book, The Art of the Deal. This wasn't just a memoir, it was a manual. It was a blueprint for his way of thinking, for his way of winning. This move transformed him from a businessman into a guru of success. The book was a phenomenal bestseller. It spent nearly a year on the New York Times bestseller list, with many weeks at number 1. Millions of people read it. They weren't just reading about his deals with the Commodore Hotel, the Woolman Rink. They were absorbing his mindset. The book was filled with his principles: think big, use your leverage, promote yourself, never give up. It presented his life as a series of epic battles and strategic victories. He was essentially bottling his self-belief and selling it to the masses. The Art of the Deal was a powerful branding tool. It took the abstract concept of his success and made it concrete and accessible. It allowed anyone, from a small business owner to a student, to feel like they had a direct line into the mind of a master winner. The book solidified his public persona. He was no longer just a rich guy. He was an author, an expert, a symbol of the American dream. This was a bold move because it required him to expose his methods and define himself publicly and permanently. This decision to write the book was a pure act of self-belief. He believed his story was worth telling. He believed his methods were worth sharing. And he believed people would want to buy into his vision of the world. He was right on all counts. The Art of the Deal became a cultural phenomenon. It cemented the legend of Donald Trump in the public imagination long before his reality TV show or his political career. It was the ultimate business move because the product he was selling was himself. He successfully branded his own mindset, proving that the most valuable asset you can ever develop and market is an unshakable belief in your own success. The 1980s were a decade of incredible, seemingly unstoppable success for Donald Trump. He was the king of New York real estate. His name was synonymous with wealth, luxury, winning. He had built an empire of skyscrapers, casinos, hotels. Everything he touched seemed to turn to gold. But no journey to the top is a straight line. Every great story has a chapter of crisis. For Donald Trump, that chapter began as the 1980s ended. The real estate market cooled off. The economy slid into recession. The debt that had fueled expansion became crushing. The king was about to fight for his kingdom. Problems mounted, one after another. Taj Mahal Casino in Atlantic City was drowning in debt. The Trump shuttle was losing money. The massive yacht, other luxury assets were costing a fortune. Projects that were symbols of success became anchors. Banks began calling in loans. The media shifted from praise to aggressive coverage. The empire creaked and threatened collapse. This was more than a financial crisis. It was personal. He faced billions in personal and corporate debt. He was on the brink of bankruptcy. Many believed he was finished. Experts and newspapers wrote his obituary. They said he'd flown too close to the sun. For most, this level of failure would be catastrophic. It would crush the spirit and end the story. This was the ultimate test of his philosophy. Imagine owing billions and seeing your name in headlines calling you a failure. Most would give up. But for Trump, it was an intermission. He was at his lowest, but inside he had decided he would not lose. In the face of adversity, what separates those who crumble from those who come back? It is their psychology. While his empire was teetering, Donald Trump's most valuable asset was his unshakable belief in himself. He simply refused to accept the reality that everyone else saw. While others saw bankruptcy and failure, he saw a temporary problem, a negotiation, a game he was not willing to lose. He famously said, pointing to a homeless man, "That guy has $92 million more than I do," when his net worth was negative $92 million. He saw it as a scoreboard. He knew he had the experience and mindset to soar beyond zero. He convinced his bankers that his brand and public profile were their best assets. He sold them on his comeback story. They gambled on his belief system. Even when you have lost everything, an unshakable belief in your own value is the ultimate leverage. He knew he was a winner having a bad spell, and that belief saved him. Surviving the near collapse was one thing. Coming back was another. The 1990s were a period of slow, methodical rebuilding for Donald Trump. He had to be more disciplined. He had to be more strategic. He worked tirelessly behind the scenes to restructure his deals, to pay down his debts, to get his business back on solid ground. This was not the glamorous work of building new skyscrapers. It was the hard, gritty work of survival and recovery. Many people who go through such a traumatic financial experience become risk-averse. They play it safe for the rest of their lives. But Donald Trump's core belief system would not allow that. He was just waiting for his moment to soar once again. That moment came in a form no one expected: television. In 2004, he launched the reality TV show The Apprentice. This was a stroke of genius. It took his battered brand and completely revitalized it. The show was a massive, global hit. It presented him as the ultimate business titan, the benevolent but tough boss in a boardroom. Every week, millions tuned in to see him decide who had what it takes. His famous catchphrase, "You're fired," became a cultural phenomenon. The Apprentice did more for his comeback than any real estate deal. It rewrote the narrative of his career. It erased the memory of near bankruptcy and replaced it with an image of decisive leadership. The show became a weekly advertisement for the Trump brand. It made him more famous than ever. He was no longer just a New York real estate mogul. He was a global celebrity. He had not only recovered his fortune, he had magnified his fame and influence. This comeback is the ultimate proof of his philosophy. He faced a challenge that would have broken most people. His entire empire was on the brink of collapse. But his identity wasn't tied to net worth. It was tied to the belief he was a winner. He used the crisis to learn, regroup, and find a new platform to relaunch his brand even higher. He proved setbacks aren't final. They are setups for a comeback. His journey from the fires of the 90s to his triumphant return in the 2000s proves no challenge is too great if your belief in yourself is greater. After real estate and television, what's next? For Donald Trump, it was the presidency. To almost everyone, this seemed unthinkable. The media laughed. The experts scoffed. It was seen as a joke. But what seems impossible can feel inevitable with self-belief. Trump didn't see obstacles, his lack of political experience, his greatest strength. The system was broken. He believed his outsider experience was what the country needed. He would restore the nation's winning spirit, the audacity. He put everything on the line. His life was a series of bets on himself. Running for president was the next, biggest bet. When Donald Trump announced his candidacy, the political world tried to analyze him using its traditional playbook. But they missed the most important thing. His campaign was the ultimate brand extension. For decades, he had carefully built the Trump brand to mean success, strength, luxury, and winning. Make America Great Again was not just a political phrase, it was a branding promise. He was promising to imbue the nation with his own brand attributes. He dominated the news cycle for free, understanding that attention is the most valuable currency. His rallies were performances designed to be entertaining and forge a powerful emotional connection. He spoke in simple, powerful, and direct language, like a regular person. He positioned himself as the strong leader who could fix a rigged system. His confidence became a vessel for the hopes and frustrations of millions. He was selling an identity, a feeling of strength, and the promise of a return to greatness. He proved that a powerful brand could be more potent than any traditional political machine. On election night 2016, the world watched as Donald Trump defied every prediction and became the 45th President of the United States. His victory wasn't luck, it was the result of an unshakable self-belief that shaped every move he made. While others relied on polls and data, Trump operated from a place of absolute certainty. This conviction fueled his energy, resilience, and relentless drive, even when the world doubted him. He shattered the illusion of limits, proving that belief can rewrite the rules. Trump's journey is a case study in the power of mindset. Your inner world truly creates your outer world. He proved, on the world's biggest stage, that the most powerful force for achieving your goals is the unwavering belief that you can. Was Trump's success just luck or inheritance? That's a myth. Many with advantages never achieve greatness. The real difference is the will to act. Think of privilege as a loaded gun. It's useless unless you have the courage to pull the trigger. Trump's self-belief pushed him beyond his father's limits, aiming higher, taking bigger risks. Inheritance gives you tools, vision, relentless action create destiny. The race of life is won by those with the strongest will, not just the best start. The lesson: resources matter, belief and action determine how far you'll go. Your life isn't a fixed blueprint, it's a design you create. Trump's story shows you're the architect, not a prisoner of your genetics or background. He saw opportunity where others saw dead ends, redrawing his plans at every setback. Your mindset is the pen. Belief lets you redesign your future. No matter your starting point, you can build beyond your original plans. The plot of land you're given doesn't define the greatness of what you build. Trump's journey is a lesson. Greatness comes from vision, courage, and relentless work. The power to design your life lies in your belief that you can. Self-belief isn't magic, it's a skill you build. Confidence grows by controlling your inner narrative and celebrating every win, no matter how small. Action, especially in the face of fear, is the cure for doubt. Each step forward shrinks fear and strengthens your core. Surround yourself with people and ideas that fuel your belief. Like Trump, immerse yourself in possibility and take relentless action. Building confidence is a daily discipline, your work, your responsibility. This is how you forge an unshakable core. Trump's story isn't about politics or privilege, it's about the power of mindset. His journey proves that belief, not circumstance, shapes destiny. Confidence is a muscle, your psychology is your future. The same force that built skyscrapers and won the presidency is available to you. The only thing between you and your dream is the story you tell yourself. You are the architect. Pick up the pen, take action, and make your vision non-negotiable. The ultimate power is within you. Unleash it.
The secret to unlocking real success lies within the wisdom you already possess. The time is now. Take the smallest possible action today. The first step is yours to take. Remember, if you want things in your life to change, you've got to make an adjustment in your mindset of change things in your life, another to get the result you want.
Hey self, adjust my frequency to ignite my energy as you.
Your wish is my command.